It's not going to be about the popular. It's going to be about the electoral or what?
No. I go further than that. What is written by the powers that be will happen. And, the powers that be are those constituents that actually run the government that the common man thinks he has a voice in. Stuff that is pushed on us to dumb us down. I believe in the spirituality of man. I believe in, your essence, your third eye, and your ability to see things other than the physical. The difference is the expectation. What do you desire, right? When you desire less, right, you gain more power. When you understand what you need
Very true.
from what you want,
Very true.
you gain more power, right? So a man, clothes, chicks, materials, what do you need, right? The only thing that you need is food, clothing, shelter, right? No, these dudes, their form was on point, their routine was on point, even their diet was on point. They were religious about it. They was just juicing, but the only true knowledge is through experience.
Yeah.
Meeting a lot of people and dealing with a lot of people who have been on the top rung and seeing depression in them, seeing these different things after attaining what they wanted, or what they thought they wanted, or being rich. So, like you said, happiness is a fleeting moment, but that clear conscience, right, is what keeps your spirit, right, here instead of here.
Yeah.
Go. It's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know.
So yeah, we got King Rich in the crib.
Yes, my dude.
How you feeling, man?
Good. Another day.
Yo, another fucking day, man. And I want to start this episode because I have some... All right, when I was younger...
Yeah.
You know what I heard a lot?
What?
Back in my day, it was much fucking harder. Like,
and what era is that? What era is that?
When I started hearing that?
Yeah.
I would say early 2000s.
Okay. Oh, man.
Yeah. But I know I would get that a lot from older people. But I'm saying nowadays, I don't hear that much. I don't hear that much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I really believe it's just the evolution of people. People have changed. Their expectations have changed. What they desire has changed. And that's why you don't hear it so much. Right now, most people coming up between, let's say, 21, because that's what they mark as adulthood in our society. From 21, let's just say 30, 31. They're not interested in starting a family. They're not interested in buying a home. They're not interested in having a savings. They're interested in travel and exploring life. Experience. Back in the days, everyone is groomed to meet someone, get married, meet someone, right? Have a good job, get married, have kids, buy a house, and that was the focus of life. So now that the focus has changed, it's hard because you have to deal with the system. You have to get credit. You have to make a certain amount of money. You have to work a job for 30 years. And now everybody is fancy free. And that's the difference in hard life and not hard life. Expectation, what you expect, what you're striving for.
So when did you think that transition happened? At what period would you say in your lifetime?
Oh, man. I would say that mid-'80s, '90s.
So the crack era.
I think the crack era is what broke it down.
Like
you see, you got to, when you look at history,
okay.
And I don't want to speak on ethnicity, but when you look at history, we look at a point of, let's just say, civil rights movement, right? And we look at a point from the civil rights movement to the early 70s or mid 70s where you still had ethnic pride and upliftment and togetherness, right? To the 80s, where that was just broken down and shattered. It was broken down and shattered by drugs.
Do you think the government put crack in the streets?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Our government portrays themselves to be more powerful than they actually are, but they have enough power and influence to control a lot of things. And for drugs, crack, cocaine, and everything else to be as mainstream as it was, without any regulation at that time, there's no doubt that it was allowed to continue.
When you were younger, was there more of a focus on prescription drugs, or was that
that's something that started?
Also came in that time.
No, it came after that.
Really, after the crack era.
So you had influential and wealthy people who had knowledge of prescription drugs, and they dibbled and dabbled with it on their own. But as far as streetwise, no.
How would you say, or what would you think the perception of my drugs are okay, but your drugs are bad? How did that come? You know what I mean? Like, what would you say played a role into that? I think people arrested for certain shit.
Capital, money. I think as long as this is just like the legalization of marijuana, as long as the government can regulate it to make money, then it's okay. You look at prohibition back in the days. You could start with that. You know what I mean? Alcohol and being illegal. And until they were able to tax it and make money off of it, it was illegal. Control. The same thing with cocaine. Right. Back in the days, you look in the teens and the 20s and the 30s. Right here, you can go to 42nd Street to what they call the chemist or the pharmacy and buy a gram of coke right from the pharmacy. You know what I mean? Once it hits the streets and it's not regulated, then it becomes illegal. So it's just about the government being able to make money off of it. That's all it is. Yeah, that's all it is.
And our part. Yeah. give me our part.
Right now, you have people getting caught with a pound of weed back in the days, late 80s, early 90s. And you're getting 10, 15, 20 years. And now look. Yeah. It's legal. Yeah. Right? You want to know what? If you get caught with a pound in your car, you go into jail. Right? Right. But you can smoke it. You just can't sell it.
Right. That's the shit about it. It's like, and it's also fucked up also in terms of the licenses.
Of course.
Because you have people that they'll get a particular license, but they didn't get all of them.
Oh, yeah.
And then they'll hunt down certain shops and not others. I remember there was a guy on Broadway right over here. Yeah. He was a cool dude. Like, he had a bus.
I saw it before.
He got raided, bro. Yeah, he got raided. And it's like, he wasn't running from anywhere. He's like, but why you had to bring all these cops and make it a big ass deal? But then other people get away with it. And it depends on like
and this is we dealing with this election right now. The problem with our society today.
Yo, this is gonna come out. Sorry, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to see what you think about this because you bring up a great point. Like, this is gonna come out after the election. Who do you think is gonna win?
I think Kamala Harris is gonna win. I say that because I view the whole process a little different than every the majority of people. Yeah. I really think
it's not gonna be about the popular, it's gonna be about the electoral or what?
No. I go further than that. What is written by the powers that be will happen. And the powers that be are those constituents that actually run the government that the common man thinks he has a voice in. Right?
Would you say that some of those people are the wealthiest families in America?
I believe in the wealthiest families, but
Like
I believe I believe in the banking system, right? I believe in the pharmaceutical system.
True.
Right?
They got massive control.
And there's just like you have a play. There's a script, and you need to follow the script, right? And who is supposed to be there to be the puppet to carry out the script is the one who's chosen to do so by the few, you know? So the common man, you running down the vote and this, that, and the third, it was already proven before. Who actually votes to the president, to who's going to win for the presidency, right? It's a cabinet. It's the government, right? It's not us.
Technically, we put in votes, and that's why it goes through the electoral college, right? And then if and only if there's a certain amount of votes, then you get a certain amount of electoral college votes. It's like it is a whole system that it kind of placates to having us perceive we have power.
Power, of course. Well, this is the entire system, and it's almost like if you're religious, or if you believe in like monotheistic religions, you have to make a deal with the devil, right? You have to say yes or no. And that is the way our system works. From day one, with everything you do, you have a choice to be governed by the government, or you have a choice to govern yourself.
In America.
In America. When everything that you do, if I go and I buy a cell phone, there's a long contract. It's up to you to read that contract and agree to it.
That's true.
And that's the same thing with everything in our system.
That's true.
The system is set up that you have the choice, and you give up your rights. When you register to vote, you're saying to these people that I need to be governed.
Right.
And I want somebody to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Just by registering to vote. When you vote, you give up your right, and you give that power to somebody else. And that's from day one until now.
So let's say, if we were to create a Bohemia, right?
Yeah.
What would be the way you think the world can be? Not necessarily be governed, but can be.
Oh man, that's a hard one. That's a very hard one. That's not a question that you could just
give out.
You just can't. That takes thought, and that's not just the thought process of one person.
Yeah, that's true.
That's honest. It's difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, some people say go back to the barter system.
Okay.
Trade for trade.
Right. How about knowledge for knowledge?
Knowledge for knowledge is good.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is where people talk about old schooling and how they called it. I forget the specific term for the types of schools. But knowledge.
Schools of thought.
Knowledge was the basis of everything.
Yeah, man.
The dollar was not the basis of everything, or currency. The highest currency was knowledge.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, what's that old expression? You could give a man a fish, or you could teach a man a fish.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you? I don't understand. I think there's a lack of effort in society.
Of course.
That is, regardless, that's true, right? But then there's a lot of people that want to try, but then they're not even given the opportunity to learn.
But the point is distraction.
Yeah.
Distraction. And this is why we see so many impoverished people come into this country. We were born here. You see people from other places come here.
And I was born in Venezuela.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right. But the majority of Americans who were born here, versus impoverished people that come here, they have the drive because they don't face the same brainwashing, right? And how I said distraction. you lose focus. You lose focus by all these distractions that you see.
It's true. And I feel like as time goes on, they increase the distraction.
Of course, distraction. You know, you figure sex, money, and violence.
Well, I've had that topic stirred in this podcast many times, where it's like I feel like back in the day there was more mystery to a woman. There was more lure, and now it's more so like, here, you can find that shit on Instagram. You can see her.
But this is, and it's not by mistake.
Right.
It's not by mistake.
It's by design.
It's by design.
By the way, sorry, I didn't offer you. You want some water?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, it's by design, man. No mistake in it, bro. You know? And as generations pass, the newer generations, they can't see past that design. They know nothing else. So it's automatically, it's taking the abnormal and making it normal. You know? How the majority of our society is just upside down, taking the abnormal, making it normal.
Can I ask you, I feel like, do you feel like they do it just to see if they could do it? Or they do it with there's a purpose for this?
There's a purpose. The purpose is just control.
Infertility? Because that's also, I feel like, something that's apparently going on.
I mean,
a lot of our
think,
products, the fact that like a lot of the shit that we consume has plastics in it.
Well, I truly believe that a lot of the stuff that is pushed on us to dumb us down. You know, I believe in the spirituality of man. I believe in, you know, your essence, your third eye, and your ability to see things other than the physical.
I love that you say that, man. You know the representation in sacred geometry of a circle, a square, and then inside that is another circle and another square. Inside that is another circle and another square, and it's supposed to represent man consciousness. So it goes from like this primitive man,
it's infinite.
and then regular man mindset, and then Christ consciousness, where it's like this whole evolution. Apparently, we go through these stages in our lifetime.
Of course. Everything that is fed to us is to dumb us down spiritually. You know, the spirit controls the mental, controls the physical, right? You attack that spirit, everything else will fall into line, you know, and that's what it's based on, you know?
Do you drink?
Yeah.
They say that, and I drink too, but they say alcohol, the rooted word comes from a meaning like spirit killer.
Spirit killers.
Yeah,
spirits.
It's a spirit.
Yeah.
It's meant for that. I feel like Henny could do that for sure.
But you know what? It depends on what you drink.
Yeah, Henny. That's what I'm saying.
It depends on what you drink. There's so many benefits to drinking whiskey. If you're drinking
or red wine.
Real, and this is the difference. This is like everything else. You drinking beer versus you drinking malt liquor. You drinking a beer that's crafted from Germany, that's made a certain way, that's bottled a certain way, is way different than you going and getting a 40 or drinking some malt liquor.
That's
right? Is different.
That's true.
Way different. Everything here, if you look at everything that's manufactured here, you can take the root of it from where it was created in the world as a positive and bring it here, and they add so many chemicals to it and substitute so many things that it becomes a negative.
Well, I feel like it's also the free market aspect in America that was just because in Canada they're right next to us, right? Yeah, they have similar cereal boxes. For example,
I saw that.
That
they take all the colors out, all these toxic things, all these cancer-causing chemicals. They take them out, and it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, but they don't do that here. They're just
no, of course.
Come here, give it all. They like that shit.
Nothing is right. And they say FDA, but there's science behind the FDA.
Them pay the FDA.
Yeah, but a lot of the science behind the FDA is bullshit. And they don't regulate everything. You know, they don't regulate anything unless, you know, at front vision, it's bad for you. If you have to really study it for 50 years to figure out it's bad for you and nobody says anything, they don't care.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. They really don't. And they'll find out years later. What happened with the smoothie, the juice? It was happened a few years ago. Apparently, it wasn't real fruit, but they played it off like they had real fruit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what company it was that. Anyhow, but it happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
People get the lawsuits after the fact, and they'll pay people like $5, everyone $5, some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like.
But getting back to the main point is we give up our freedom.
Liberty.
We give up our freedom from day one. We give up our freedom. You're born. Your parents give up your freedom. You get a social security number, and you're logged in, right? You get trained from first grade. You get trained to do an 8-hour day at work, right? And you're groomed from first grade to 12th grade to actually wake up, put in 8 hours.
8 hours.
Right?
Most of the majority of the day.
Yeah.
Gone.
Go home, rest, do it again. Right?
Rinse and repeat.
We trained. You logged with that social security number. Right? And automatically you go through the chains of what they lay out to make you a worker bee.
Yeah.
And that's all it boils down to. From the beginning to the end.
Right.
And throughout the entire process, aside from a few, your life is in debt. You are in debt from day one, right? There's a theory that the Federal Reserve, coming from England, right? When the settlers came here, they had to make a deal with the old land. They came up with the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve, as an independent entity, was placed there. And your Social Security number, part of the debt is that everyone in this country will pay to the old country. And this is where the federal debt, this is where federal tax and all these other things come into play. So from the time you get a Social Security number, you are pledged to pay a debt for your entire existence, right? And this is the problem with the entire system. People don't see your kids, you, my parents, everyone was groomed just to be a worker bee and to be in debt for their entire existence on this planet.
So I had many different followers of different religions on this podcast.
Yeah.
And, you know, when it came down to it, you know, after speaking to so many different people, I feel like we should follow where the money goes, right? In reality, you've heard that expression.
Yeah.
Well, who created this debt? Who created this credit? You know?
Yeah.
And like, there's a certain people, you know what I mean, that did that. And it's interesting because like, I'm not any specific type of religion, right?
Yeah.
But I respect the fact that Muslims don't believe in credit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, of course.
I respect that shit.
Of course.
They're
If you give a loan, you're not supposed. What is it called? There's a certain name for it, but you can give somebody a loan and put interest on it. Yeah, that's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
Oh man, it's
crazy, right?
Because
if you think about it, that's the root of it.
But then
at the same time,
the root of it is power and control from the top.
Absolutely.
That's the root of it.
Yeah. Do you think it's a small dick syndrome?
No. I think.
Sorry, I had to do it.
I think it's
just passed down.
It's passed down. It's just being in a certain position and not wanting to give up that position.
Well, let me ask you something. In your own life, right?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like you've gone through certain layers in your life? I don't know. You could tell me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like relinquishing some power in certain aspects is powerful.
Exactly. Saying this is where we come back to the distraction. What do you desire? We started out saying, what is the difference between, life was hard when I was growing up, and now you don't hear that anymore. The difference is the expectation. What do you desire, right? When you desire less, right, you gain more power. When you understand what you need,
very true,
from what you want,
very true,
you gain more power, right? So a man, clothes, chicks, materials, what do you need, right? The only thing that you need is food, clothing, shelter, right? you need that knowledge to be able to survive. If the system crashes today,
what are you gonna do?
Who will survive?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
The people going out eating fancy meals, eating 5 meals a day.
Don't know how to hunt shit.
Exactly. You don't know how to fish. You don't know how to hunt. You can't go a day without a meal. You can't walk 5 miles without a drink of water.
All you're eating is processed shit.
All you're eating is processed shit. Your body is already depleted because you haven't been getting any real nutrition.
Right.
Who will survive?
Who will survive?
So what is important?
There was a question posed here. I asked somebody, this shit was bad funny. I was like, yo, imagine like the electricity went out for a month.
Exactly.
Just a month.
Just a month.
Just a month.
The distraction, think like this.
Oh my God, it would be fucking mayhem.
I watch YouTube, right? I'm on my phone here and there, but just psychologically, who will survive without the phone in their hand? Right?
Right.
Not even talking about everything else, right? It's a serious question. So what do you really need? Like you said, information, knowledge is first.
Always.
Right?
Yeah.
You gain knowledge of what you truly need to survive and to live.
Yeah. My mom, she lived with indigenous people in my country.
Oh, yeah?
For 2 years.
Wow.
So like she knows how to survive.
How to survive, exactly.
Yo, like for real.
And
like,
that makes sense.
It's crazy, bro.
You got people spending thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars on material and on luxury, but they don't even know the first thing about survival.
Nothing.
And that's the majority of our population today.
Absolutely. And it's these events of total destruction are fucking cyclical.
Yo,
you know bro. Like, it's like a matter of time.
Yeah, it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
You know, you really think about it. I mean, when you go through different stages, like you said, spirituality, we're here, and however we got here, for whatever purpose we're here. Mm-hmm. But the love of hair is just what has people psychologically fucked up. When I mean the love of hair, it's like emphasis. Every organism wants to survive. Mm. One thing, have you ever seen the movie Lucy?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Morgan Freeman,
fucking
at one point, Morgan Freeman says the organism has 2 routes to survive, right? The first route is if the environment is sustainable to live and try to prolong the lifespan of the organism. Mm. If the environment is not sustainable, the next form of order of survival is procreation, right? Meaning everyone here, people scared to death, people trying to gain everything they can to live forever. Right? To what end? For no reason. Right. For no reason. You here, you live, you die. You make the most of it.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
The focus on what people, and it goes back to distraction and what you really need. The focus of what people are running around for in this short period of time that we're here, it's nonsense. Yeah. You're running around chasing your tail for nonsense.
Yeah, or holding on to a time.
Holding on.
Holding on to a time. That's why my artist name, because I make music.
Oh, yeah?
I sing and I rap.
Get out.
For real. And my stage name is Ago. Okay. AGO, because it's my name abbreviated, but also because everything I spit is already in the past. I feel like everything you kind of like have to let go of, you know what I mean? There's going to be a time that I'm not here anymore.
Yeah, of course.
That was a go.
Of course. You know what I mean? Of course. That's a good one. I was in music for a while too.
Word?
Yeah,
So, all right, let's switch transitions here. I mean, like, let's switch dynamics real quick. Talk to me more about your upbringing, where you came from. You said you were raised in the 70s.
Yeah.
What was the scene like, and how was it for you?
Oh, man, I was raised in the 70s in Crown Heights. My mother was from Trinidad, and my father was from here, but he had American Indian roots. Yeah. So, Crown Heights, Brooklyn. In the 70s, I mean, you know what? In the 70s, it was still the Martin Luther King, we shall overcome, and there was still a lot of unity amongst the people. You know, a cop pulled somebody over. I remember seeing this when I was young. Cop pulled the dude over and they got him against the wall, and everybody walking by stopped and started screaming like, what the fuck is it? Like, nobody turned a blind eye. Nobody was like, oh, whatever. Let them do what they want to do. That's how I came up starting out.
Wow,
you know?
So it was more community.
Way more community. But also, you had a lot of, I think this came over from the late 60s into the 70s also.
What did?
The dope, the morphine. You had a lot of soldiers that coming back from the war at the time. Yeah, that were hooked on drugs. So, and you know, I would say that could have been like 20% of the population, but it was still something that was foreign, and you saw that a lot. You know, you saw a lot of prostitution because of that. You had dudes that was coming home from the war, and they're pimping out their wife or their girlfriend to get. They had morphine back then. Morphine, get heroin.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, that was like the first stage before the fucking crack era. You know, and there was a stage even before that. I heard. I think in the 50s, where there was dope in the streets.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's the stages of drug manipulation and
course.
Power, right?
Testing it out.
I feel like it happens through generation to generation.
Testing it out. You know, I really think there's studies by the government of them using cocaine, using crack, using LSD on soldiers to see how they would perform in the field. Will it keep them up? Will they maintain their strength? So I think crack could have started out. They say crack was made, this dude made it in the kitchen, right? Just trying to stretch the coke.
Right.
Nah, I don't believe that.
Fuck that.
I think that it was governmentally created and they wanted to test it out on the streets to see how good it was. For whatever purpose, to keep the soldiers going for 10 days.
I mean, I believe
in
the
man. Field.
Like, they try to hide so much shit, but like, remember, apparently cigarette commercials back in the day used to be like way pro cigarettes.
Yeah, pro cigarettes.
Like,
smoking was nothing. So, I mean, I remember going to Trinidad and it's smoking on the plane. Smoking was nothing. You smoke everywhere. You go to a restaurant, people eating and smoking.
Right.
Yeah.
And just switched out of nowhere. Once people caught on, they're like, oh,
exactly.
Fuck. And they're still selling this shit
and
in different forms.
But they knew.
Right, they knew the whole time.
Of course, they don't care.
They don't. Shit kept going.
They want to make money.
They want to make money.
They're
gonna get that money.
And then they figured out, hey, you get sick, we'll sell you the drugs.
And the fucking
we'll sell you the drugs. And
right.
This is where we'll make a product.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know who created that system in terms of having the prescription drugs?
The layer of monetary gain.
The whole cycle of it, you know who created it?
Who?
Guess.
I have no idea.
In America, guess. Just guess.
I can't guess, man.
Guess, man. It's a family name.
It's a family, Rockefeller.
Boom.
Yeah.
John D. Rockefeller.
Yeah.
And his lawyer created that shit. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, yo, you know what's another crazy thing? And I've spoken about this before, but all right. Antarctica.
Yeah.
You know how like it's just a bunch of governments that own, right?
Yeah, I know the whole story.
And the Rockefeller family.
Yeah.
Has
well, you know what?
Like, why the fuck are you over there?
my memory is just fading on certain things, but going back to Napoleon, right? The Rockefellers were making money from then. They were in control from then, right? I think it was Napoleon and the war at the time. Which war was that?
Who?
The war at the time with Napoleon.
Let's look it up right now.
Rockefeller and who's the electric dude? Not Tesla.
First French Empire. You said what? Oh shit.
Damn, what's this dude's name, man? Westinghouse?
But what about it?
The
Peninsular War,
no,
the Swedish War, British invasion, Gunboat War. All right, but
I can't remember. But they placed basically bets on the fucking war.
Really?
Against themselves, and they won money, and they bought any industry that was here. They bought it up.
Well, that's another thing that people say. War is such a moneymaker that's why it keeps going.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All these false flags from day one. Half the shit that supposedly went on never happened. It was just people, what they call false flagging. Mm-hmm. You know, from Korean War. What was the one in Hawaii? No, the Korean War, right? Mm-hmm.
What about it though?
Yeah, that was a false flag. Pearl Harbor was a false flag.
Oh, when they went to Japan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All false flags. You know, we do shit to ourselves on a small level so we could go take over another country.
Right. And
build the infrastructure. Right?
And it's constant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll have our bombs there too, so they don't do shit.
Oh man.
It is crazy. Yo, I also there's also another reason why I have you here, and I want to talk to you more so about like your gym routine and what you've gone through in life in terms of, because I know that we spoke. You have to get like knee replacement surgery every 10 years. That's like crazy. Like talk to me about like your story, bro, in terms of in the gym.
I think I've been working out since I was about 18. Just literally working out on the block. My boy had a setup in front of his house in the summertime. Training outside. Fast forward to, I would say 1997, 98. I was working out in New York Sports Club and working out hard. I mean, bruh, if I show you a picture now, you'd be like, that's not you, right? And the personal trainer, the director of the fitness there, he just approached. I mean, I'm working out twice a day, putting in 2 hours in the daytime, and then at night I come back and do an hour. Shit. Right? He stepped at me and was like, "Yo, you should be a trainer." Right? And I was like, "Yeah." And I was in the film. at that time. I was working at Silver Cup Studios, Sopranos.
You were filming in The Sopranos?
I was in the construction department for Sopranos.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And that went on hiatus. So you shoot for like 8 months, then you get 4 months off. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll try it. And you needed like a certification, in-house certification. And then after that, you go get a national certification. I went through the whole process and just popped off. You know what I mean? And that just started the ball. You know, from there, I bounced from club to club. You know what I mean? And for a short period of time, I was still playing film back and forth. So I think...
And what were you doing in specific? Because I felt like you went in different departments, it sounds like.
As far as what, fitness?
You were doing fitness, and then also you were doing the
film. Yeah,
so in the film, you said you were doing construction, but you also mentioned something before.
In the film-wise, I was a construction PA. So when you're a construction PA, you're a production assistant. But for the construction department, basically, you work and you do everybody else's job, right? Most people, they'll click up with one department. So you have electric, you have carpentry, you have rigging or grip, and then you have gaffing, lighting, right? So as you have, at that time I had basic, like things that I had to do. Like I had to do payroll, I had to do buys for the construction, like wood, this, that, and the third. But they also allowed me for whatever department, if you're working and you're building a set, I would work, I'll ask you if you need help, and I'll work with you and you'll teach me, right? So I started out with the rigging as far as like, I want to get on and learn something, and I help these dudes. I basically do their job for my rate.
That's the dynamic everywhere,
right?
Yeah.
Right? But I really linked with, and I think just is a Spanish dude, Puerto Rican dude. I linked with the electrical department. You know what I mean? Because the dude is just down to earth, regular dude. At that time, he'd be like, "Yo, here's $100. You know anybody in the hood that sell coke? Yo, bring me back some coke."
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy Puerto Rican motherfucker.
Yeah. He was actually the electrician on the Superman movie, the first movie, Christopher Reeves.
For real?
Yeah, and the motherfucker said he blew up the whole block, like the area went black.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Miguel Jimenez.
Nah.
Yeah, man, good dude.
That's fucking funny, man. All right, Eric. So then you're doing all this. The dynamics, I'm sure, are more so coming up in the film.
Yeah.
And also dealing with, like, I guess probably the annoying.
The worst. The worst.
People, right?
The
like
worst. The worst.
Egos,
I don't think it was
like,
so much
no,
the cast or the actors. I think it was more of the crew.
Really?
Yeah. There's a
Stage crew.
Yeah, there was a serious level of racism and a serious level of hierarchy. You know?
Like know your place.
Know your place, but how can I say it? There's family. This is a family business.
Right.
And it's passed down. If you're outside the family, you fucked up. Everybody that's there, their family brought them in, right? My cousin, and he goes back, I think New York Undercover, I remember him shooting New York Undercover. He was the film loader, if you know what New York Undercover was. That was like, look it up, watch New York Undercover. This was the first, to me, like crossover, mainstream, ethnic point of view cop show.
Okay.
I mean, and shot in New York.
Okay.
Everybody was every actor was a real person. They dressed like you and me at the time. The crimes was the crimes in the hood. Their soundtracks was hip hop that was out. And then you know what, it seems like anything else that's on TV now. But back then, when there was nothing like that, it was crazy. If you lived in Harlem, if you lived in Astoria, and then you watch this show, and they're playing the latest hip hop, and you see a dude like you running down the street shooting, you're like, oh shit. The cops, like regular people. But, I mean, watch the show and you'll understand what I mean. But he started out on New York Undercover. He shot like Donnie Brasco. He shot a lot of major films. And he brought me in. You know? But it's like kissing ass to get in the union.
Right.
You know? I remember doing favors. I knew this guy who was in the art department, Michael Zansky. Famous for this. He had an art gallery. And you know, the art department, they dress the set.
Okay.
So they can take these walls or the floor and they'll paint it and make it look like real marble.
Oh shit.
Right? When you as a cinematographer, you're like, oh, I want the set to look like Soho Rich in 1990. The set dressers and the art department will go and get the furniture, paint the walls, set the scene. You know, this dude, he was an artist. He had an art gallery. And I'm transporting shit from his art gallery to his house and doing all these extra favors. So he's going to stand up for me to get in the union. And the motherfucker, test come, pass the test. You have to take a test, pass the test, right? You have a practical test. And then people have to stand up for you and say, oh, he's a stand-up dude.
Wow.
Motherfucker don't speak up.
Wow.
Yeah. So
fucking
after,
asshole, yo.
I'm never an ass kisser. That's the first part. But after just being quiet, doing my job, helping people out, doing like the dude telling me, oh, yo, get me some coke, right?
And this whole time, you're also training people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your life is like fa.
Bro,
Not trying to hear any bullshit.
I'm working in Silver Cup Studios. I'm opening the stage because I open the stages at 6:30 in the morning. So I'm working from like 6:30 to 5. I leave at 5 and go to the gym and maybe train 2 people. I really was training the majority on the weekend, but if I'm opening the stage at 6:30, I'm leaving my house at like 4:35. You know?
How many people have you met at the gym, like on your come up with, that was like taking shit, like steroids and shit like that?
I think there was a period in time when I worked out at Dolphin Gym. This is on 23rd Street, 23rd and like 3rd Avenue in the city, right? And that was the craziest time. From there, from Dolphin, I went to the Parks Department. And the Parks Department was Asser Levy on 23rd Street, and I guess that's FDR. And I linked up with some Spanish dudes, bro. And I didn't know at the time, but like a couple of them were serious strippers, you know? But, bro, let me tell you something. To today, I was thinking about this back then. I'm like, yo, Arnold ain't got nothing on these motherfuckers, man. Yo, I seen some of the strongest, biggest motherfuckers I have ever seen in my life.
Right.
These motherfuckers curling 2 plates like, I mean, bruh. And you know what? And I'm still, let's say, I'm not talking about youth. Okay. But let's say from like 96, 97, I'm not in the drug shit. I don't have no clue about that. I don't know nothing about that. I know about eating, working out. Right. I think.
So you're saying when you met these guys?
When I didn't know they was, I didn't know nothing. Bro,
this shit was
I had no clue.
Yeah, you're like, you were thinking that like.
I'm like, these motherfuckers eating 10 times a day. These niggas eating 10 times a day, right? They sleeping 8 hours a day. They drinking eggs, straight up whole eggs.
That's what you're thinking, right?
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know nothing about the drugs. Right. You know, it took me a while down the line. I think from that point, it could have been like creatine came out. And
but I don't want to jump too much further on this because I also want you to talk about more so like characteristics, dynamics, like how these people like end up becoming, like, or matter of fact, like how did you feel about them in the beginning, and then as to you finding out that they're doing all this shit, like how is it for you?
I don't think the gains, the strength, the form, let's say the system that they did was on point. So don't get me wrong. This is like I could see a dude in the gym pick up 75-pound dumbbells and he's like this, talking about I'm curling. No, these dudes, their form was on point, their routine was on point, even their diet was on point. They were religious about it. They was just juicing. Yeah. So the positive aspect of it was high positivity. Even after I found out, I bumped into one dude from there that stopped taking. And let's say the dude was like 260, 270 pounds. When I saw this dude, he had to be like 120, 130
Get
pounds.
Get the fuck out of here.
That, I'm like, does this dude have AIDS? He's still dressed in his gym uniform. He got the spaghetti tank top on. Okay. Right? He still got his gym bag with his supplements like protein and shit in it. And he's getting ready. When I see him on the street, he's like, I'm getting ready for a show. And he looked mad lean. Like you see every muscle. But you're 120 pounds. And I didn't know. And this is the transition of me finding out. I didn't know. I'm like, what the fuck happened to dude? My ex, my girl at the time, right? My girl at the time, her cousin's husband, Ukrainian dude. Yeah. Same thing. This dude was doing shows. Yeah. Dude is huge. I think he had an Acura Legend at the time. Okay. The dude couldn't fit in the fucking car. This dude was big. And she was trying to get pregnant, her cousin at the time, and he stopped using drugs. And I saw the same thing happen to him. He's totally shrunk. He did a show, and he looked like a teenager, like a 16-year-old. I mean, like, this is his arm. Right. Like a 16-year-old doing this show. Yeah. And that's when I found out that this is what happens when you stop using. And then I'm like, oh shit, this is what happened to this dude. But at the same time, it didn't crush. Like, I was like, oh man, this whole shit is fake. I didn't even think about it. Right. Because what they taught me, how to eat, how to work out, how to train. It stuck with me. That was right. Right. They was just juicing. Right. And that is the most critical part. The most critical part is how you do your exercises. People, you can load whatever weight you want. Right. If you're not doing it right, then what's the point? What's the point? You're not doing anything. Yeah. That's why I always respect I feel like the biggest guys at the gym, they always tell me like, yo, don't go heavy. Yeah. Go light and go perfect form. Perfect form. Yeah. You got very simple rules of exercise, which is contraction, right? Extension. How you say it? Flexion, extension, right? Flexion is to contract the muscle, squeeze, right? Build a muscle. Right. Extension relaxes the muscle fully, lets oxygen get into the muscle tissue, right? Very simple. Right. This is doing nothing. You have to, for every action, every joint action, how I say it, extension, right? Contraction. I always forget. Right? Nah, but very simple. I feel like you could have said it the other way too. Yeah. Very simple, and this is everything that you do. Yeah, because if you're not on point, then it's really like you're wasting time. You're wasting time. Yeah. So, all right, how was it more so when you like ran into this whole issue with your knees? Like, what happened? Like, it's just time. It's time, man. Well, first of all, I got into a brawl. Word? And somebody kicked my knee in. Holy shit. But it was a problem that was already there. Because right before the knee went out, I felt the same feeling that I felt when I was squat and leg press. More so the leg press, because I was still going heavy on the leg press. And all of that stems from improper training. Improper training. And it stems from age, not respecting age, and the changes that you have to make as you age. Talk to me about that. So you have muscle, you have tendon, you have ligaments, right? At a younger age, there's a way to train to thicken your tendons, right? There's a way to train to build your muscle. There's a way to train to lean up your muscle or gain muscle endurance. What would you say the best way is? For tendon strength, you need to get like 85% of your weight, and you need to go through, how I would say, for legs, you need full extension. You ever see people leg press and they come all the way down to their chest? It's not about reps, it's about weight, and it's about full range of movement, right? It's about contraction as you move. As you come up, you're squeezing. As you come down, you relax. As you come down, you're squeezing on the eccentric. And that's going to help thicken up your tendons, right? Your muscle, if you build big muscle and you don't have thick tendons, right, the muscle's going to rip away from the bone, right? And that's when you're leading to an issue. And that's when you're leading to an issue. As you get older, you can't achieve that anymore. What it is what it is. Right. You can maintain elasticity right? But you can't really get the thickness, right? So what happens is you cannot continue to increase. You have to know when to stop, right? How do you know when to stop? If you don't push it. If you don't push it, you don't know when to stop.
That's true.
You have to respect, and when you do push it and you fail, you have to know that's my limit.
Right.
You know, you can't, every time you're working out, you're trying to get more and more and more. Where's your limit? And that was my downfall. Keep pushing it. What's your limit? You know, until you feel something. Until one day, I'm rushed, I walk in, I don't warm up, right? You have to warm up, get your body heat up, get elasticity in the muscle. You don't really need to stretch, but you have to go through the movements on a lighter scale, and then you start to work.
Yeah, I always start my workouts with calisthenics.
Yeah.
So I always do like sit-ups, push-ups.
Yes, but
I do my stretches, and then I go to the weights.
You have to think from your heart rate, what's going to actually heat your body up. When you feel the sweat, that's when you know you're hot.
Right.
Get that elasticity in the muscle.
Right.
And in the bands, and then you can work.
Right.
One day you rushed, you want to still do the same workout, you don't warm up, and boom, muscles are like, instead of your muscles being flexible, they're like this.
Right.
And then you put load on it, boom, and you rip something.
Right.
Yeah, that's simple.
And that's what happened when at what age did that happen to your knees? And like, what was your mind going through? Like, how was it like for you?
Oh,
you
man.
know?
I think that could have happened in I believe I first started seeing that in 2017. I mean, I've had injuries. I remember popping my hamstring doing deadlifts, and that was in New York Sports Club. So that could have been 98 or 99, and rest for a week and keep going, you know?
Right.
But your body changes.
Right.
You can't do the same things.
You can't.
You don't regenerate after a certain point. And that's what happened, maybe 2016, 2017. That was it.
Damn, man. That's wild. Yo, I got this part in the podcast that I ask every guest, hey, can you give me a question that I could take out into society?
Yeah.
And I go ask that question.
Oh, man. You said you was going to ask me that before, I think. A question to take out into society.
I'm going to go out into society. I'm going to, pick some random person.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask that question to them.
What is your goal in life? You know, on a realistic level. You know, and that's something.
What is a realistic goal that you have?
Realistic goal I have. To get a one-bedroom apartment.
To get a one-bedroom apartment in New York City?
Yeah.
All right. What are you doing to get that? What are you doing? What's your game plan?
Get a raise and fucking at work.
Hell yeah.
That's something that has to be expounded on. You can't just ask somebody, what's your goal in life? You have to, what is your goal in life on a realistic level? And it's not, my goal in life is to be a millionaire.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You can't even just say, oh, my goal in life is to be happy. What is your goal in life?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's not just
something more concrete.
Yeah. That's a good answer. That's a good question. You know?
So what would you say as of right now is your goal in life?
Oh man. No goal.
No goal?
No goal, bro.
Yeah.
No goal. Right now, as I sit here right now, no goal.
Okay.
No goal.
Why?
I think that everyone is constantly evolving.
Yeah.
So you can have a majority of goals, but I think that the more I learn, the more I understand, and those goals have shifted back and forth. And right now, I feel like I need to just be a blank canvas.
Okay.
And a blank canvas, like you hear people say, be in the here and now. And the blank canvas is just like being in the here and now, right?
Yeah.
My goal is to maybe leave you and go to the gym and work out. That's my goal.
Yeah.
To have a good meal.
Yeah.
To get some good sleep.
Yeah.
To wake up tomorrow.
I like that.
That's the goal.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. As far as nah.
For what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see that. There's an understanding that comes into play. I feel like simplicity.
Yeah,
right?
simplicity.
Like, there's a lot of stress that could happen during different pursuits of certain goals, right? And it's just like, it in life you only have one, so
yeah,
I can see why
but you know, if I sit down in silence, or you say meditate or whatever you do, and you really put into perspective, like I said, the distraction, the false goals, you put in the world into perspective, and you're like, and it's refreshing. I mean, it could be depressing, but in the same breath, it's refreshing, man.
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it and where you're at in life.
What really matters, and it depends on where you're at in life. So you being your age, right? You're striving.
I'm trying.
You strive. You know what I mean? You're striving, but me being at my age and having a lot of understanding through experience.
Right. I see what you're
you
saying.
know, you can have knowledge, but the only true knowledge is through experience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Meeting a lot of people and dealing with a lot of people who have been on the top rung and seeing depression in them, seeing these different things after attaining
what they wanted,
or what they thought they wanted, or being rich. Just people,
Right.
you know what? I know. I trained, you know who George Soros is? You know
Yeah.
George Soros. I trained George Soros for like 10 years.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I know his son now, who just took over his business, Alex. You know, my man trains his son.
Oh, shit.
And my man was just hit me up maybe like a couple of months ago. It's like, oh, do you think you could take over for me, you know, while I go here, there, and everywhere else? And the kid, the old man, his life is miserable.
Really?
Yeah. The kid is
fucked up.
And his life is turning out to be the same way. You know, I deal with so many
walks of life.
Yeah, I trained the CEO of American Express. Same thing, like 15 years, Jim Robinson.
Wow.
And his life just is shambles. Easy 400 million, 500 million. You worth that. Your wife worked for BlackRock. She worked more than that. Right? I train a chick right now, Susie Welsh. Her husband was the CEO of GE, Jack Welch, for 40, 50 years.
Wow.
And she's the most sane. This is my homegirl. She's my people.
Yeah.
But still, the same. You have everything, but the level of stress and unhappiness is worse than anybody else.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So when you see that, and you know that,
it's
you're
so
like,
different. Why would I want it? Why would I?
Why are you chasing that? It's not. You hear people say money don't make you happy. Yo, you chasing that and you're still not happy.
Right.
You chasing that. What did you do to get that?
Yeah, but I also think it's like all right. So like life in general, right?
Yeah.
Happiness is a fleeting moment.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Of course.
So it's like you're not gonna be happy all the time.
It's not about happiness.
Right,
you know what? There's a saying. Clean hands and a pure heart, right? It's having a clear conscience, right? There's also a saying, you can't reap good fruit from a rotten tree, right? To chase certain things, to chase a certain level of success, you cannot have a clean heart, clean hands, and a pure heart.
Damn.
Right? You cannot have a clear conscience. Right? And this is what it all boils down to. And this is why, like you say, goals and striving, there's a level that you reach. Let's say P. Diddy. There's a level you reach where you have to make a choice. Right? I know some MCs, right? I tell you I was in music for a while too. I know some MCs that's the illest motherfuckers out here. They can't get a deal.
Right.
They can't keep going.
Right.
You want to know why? Because there's a point where you have to make that decision. That's the same thing with anything making money. Anything in the system is rotten. Mm-hmm. You can't reap good fruit from a rotten tree. Mm-hmm. That's in the Bible, right? How far can you go in the system before you have to deal with the rotten aspect of it and conform to it? You know? And that's what it boils down to. So, like you said, happiness is a fleeting moment, but that clear conscience, right, is what keeps your spirit, right, here instead of here. You know?
Yeah.
To forego distraction, right? And to forego this monetary, right? To gain material, forego that to have a clear conscience, pure spirit, clean hands, right?
Yeah. Damn, nah, you got me there, bro.
Yeah.
You did. Because, like, honestly, I feel like this conversation is very needed. You know, life.
Yeah.
You're going to be in certain points where, you know, you're hungry.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hungry.
You're hungry.
You know what I mean?
You're
like,
hungry. But we're in a society that's taking the abnormal and making it the norm, right? The human being has an innate ability to make the distinction between right and wrong. Not by pain, just from emotion. You can take somebody from a desert island who's never been in our society and bring them here, and they can experience something outside of physical pain and say that's right, that's wrong. Plain and simple. Yeah. They can see somebody be violated and know that's wrong without having knowledge of anything in our society. Yeah. So following that guided spirit in you, you know, nah, that ain't for me. If you question it, nah, that ain't for me. You know, right?
That's true.
You see somebody getting violated. I worked on Belly. Nas.
For real?
Yeah, DMX. I seen DMX come out his trailer. These chicks look like they 15 to 16 years old. Bottle of liquor. Take them in the trailers, right? 5 minutes later, one chick come out running out crying, right? Just, you know, that's wrong. Other chick come out, she ain't crying, but she's like, that's wrong. You know, even if you don't see the chick crying, you know, that's a wrong act.
Right.
How you say it, changing, conforming for gain. You can't do that. Conforming for gain. And that's where that
but this
rotten
whole,
tree comes from.
Yeah, but this whole society is to conform.
Yeah.
This whole thing is
it's about confirmation, of course. Of course.
From like how we spoke about it.
But this is where we get we go right back to the beginning, right? What do you need? Right? Distraction. What do you actually need? What is the goal? You may not be happiness, but it's to be clean hands and a pure spirit, man. That's what the goal is, right?
Yeah.
To be whole within yourself.
Right.
That's what the goal is.
Right.
You know, it's not about. Yeah, of course, we need food. I need a roof over my head, right? Emotionally, I need an outlet of love. I'm good. Right? Yeah. At the end of the day, after everything else, that's all you need. Right? Do you need $1 million to get that? No. Do you need $1 billion? No. That's what it boils down to. You know? Not conforming is hard, but you have to be aware. You always got to be aware, bro.
That's true. Aware of your decision.
You have to be aware. You have to, like I said, that innate ability to discern is in you.
Right.
All you have to do is listen.
Right.
And when you hear it, don't second guess it.
Right.
That's it.
Yo, I know we could talk for hours. But
yeah.
What's something that you can tell the viewers watching right now?
As far as
for life.
For life?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a hard one, man. Oh.
Or what's something that you would tell your younger self?
My younger self?
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard one, man. And you asked me that too, and I couldn't answer it then. You asked me that before. Listen more and speak less. Listen more and speak less. Right?
Yeah.
You know, not just listening with your ear, but listening to that inner self.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Word. And do you have any questions for me?
Nah, because I got to go.
Yo, so yeah.
My man.
Go. It's the conversation. Yeah. Take your mind different places. Now you know.